Welcome to today's video. We are going to discuss tips on how to increase the weight and facilitate faster growth in cattle farming or in beef production. So we are going first to discuss a few topics or a few points that you need to consider for you to have a faster growth and increase your weight at your beef farming sector. First thing is you need to have high quality forage. When I talk about high quality forage, the forage should be found. Forage is the foundation of the bull's diet. Yeah? Forage is the foundation of the bull's diet. High quality hay, silage, or a pasture rich in nutrients will provide the necessary energy and fiber. So ensure the forage has sufficient protein content of around 12 to 14% to support the muscle development of these cattle. Secondly, you need to consider is grain-based feeds. When I talk about grain-based feeds, these are like corn, barley, oats. These provide energy that is like a carbohydrate that supports the rapid weight gain. So you need to start with small amounts and gradually increase grain intake to avoid digestive issues. So you can also use a balanced gain mix or what you call commercial feeds that are formulated for weight gain bulls. So grain-based feeds, they're the main source of weight gain when it comes to cattle farming, that is beef production. Thirdly, we are going to discuss about protein supplements. When I talk about protein supplements, here proteins are crucial for muscle growth. Yeah. Carbohydrates for weight gain, protein is a crucial element for muscle growth. So if the forage lacks sufficient protein, consider adding supplements such as soybeans or soybeans meal, cotton seed cake or cotton seeds meal, or commercial protein concentrates. Some also you can put Poland, that's a good source of protein. So you have sunflower, you have coconut, yeah. And sometimes Poland can do well under protein supplement that will boost the muscle growth. Yeah. So you should aim for higher protein intake of around 12 to 15 of the diet. Yeah. So as I said, the fodder or the forage will be 14 to 12 to 14. Protein should be also 12 to 15 there. The fourth thing is energy rich diet. When you talk about energy rich diet, is provide an energy rich diet to ensure faster weight gain. Okay, so high energy diet it will give you a faster weight gain. Energy is essential for growth and it can also be increased through corn, sorghum, or other high energy feeds. Still, we are going back to grains. So grains is a crucial thing when it comes to beef farming. So the fifth thing you need to consider is minerals and vitamins. When I talk about minerals and vitamins, here provide minerals blocks or supplement rich in essential minerals like calcium, phosphorus. Like for instance, calcium mostly is for bones. Yeah, phosphorus you have magnesium, trace minerals like zinc, copper, and selenium. Vitamins, especially vitamin D, and vitamin E, are important for the immune function and growth. So all these things you should try your best to formulate while formulating your feeds. Make sure the feed is balanced to contain also minerals and vitamins. Another thing is the sixth thing is adequate water supply. Adequate water supply. So for instance, bulls, but let's say cattle require plenty of fresh water. Clean, fresh water. Water intake supports digestion, feed intake, and overall growth. So the hydration can significantly reduce the feed efficiency. So ensure water is always available and clean water. Okay. The seventh thing or the seventh topic, the seventh issue we need to consider is use growth promoters. Use of growth promoters, but this one is optional. I don't advise you to go for that. It is optional. So if you are if you can use it, it's fine, but just optional that one. For you to use growth promoters, it is optional. There you will need to consult a veterinarian or a veterinary doctor about the safe growth promoting additives. Like I have a few. Let's say just hormones. Yeah, let me don't give a specific one, but you have few growth promoters that people usually use in their beef farming. But for our case, we don't use because they have some limits and certain withdrawal period of meat for you not to give the disease to human beings. So if you are capable of another thing, they are also expensive by the way. Growth promoters are also expensive, but they speed up the growth and the weight gain of the bull. So, but it is optional. So they consult, as I said, consult your veterinary doctor about the safe growth promoting additives. These growth hormones are implants I'm sorry, growth hormones or implants, yeah, are sometimes used but ensure compliance with local regulation and consumer preference regarding meat production. Here, as I said, when you use too much of these promoters, you'll find that once you slaughter these bulls, there will be still plenty of these promoters in the meat of these bulls or of these cattle. So once we human being consume the same meat that contain those promoting hormones or additives, you'll find that we will start developing also increasing weight, increasing body. So you'll find we lack the shape of a human being, but sorry to say that. So we need to balance on that. So, but it is optional. If you are doing it, that will be upon you. But make sure you comply with the local government or local regulations and consumer preference. That the number 8, you need to balance feeding schedule, balance feeding regime. Here, when talk about balancing the feeding schedule, feeding bulls at a regular intervals. Yeah, you need to be feeding your bulls at the correct timing, systematic one, for instance. So feed bulls or feed cattle at regular intervals. Consistency in feeding times help promote digestion and weight gain. In short, when you are feeding your bulls, let's say 8 a.m. in the morning, it should be always every 8 a.m. in the morning you are giving your animals the feeds. Assuming you are feeding your cattle twice a day, that's maybe 8 in the morning and around 2 p.m. in the afternoon, you should stick on that time so as the digestive system of this cattle will know this time is the time of feeding. 1 hour feeding or 2 hours feeding, the rest of the time is relaxing as the feeds are being digested. By 2 p.m., the stomach is empty. You give the feed again. They feed overnight. They do the digestion and the absorption of feeds. So you'll find when you give these animals a regular interval of feeding, you'll find the weight gain will be good and the growth will also be faster. So divide into 2 or more meals per day rather than feeding once a day to ensure better nutrient absorption. So when you feed twice a day, that is maybe in the morning and in the evening, it is better, or 3 times, morning, 10, not 10, around early morning, midday, then late. It's also good, but feeding once a day is not good. The number 9 issue you need to consider is monitor weight and adjust the diet. When we talk about monitoring the weight, here is a regular monitor of the bull's weight and adjust the diet based on growth rate and body condition. Consider gradual changes in the diet rather than abrupt shift to avoid digestive upset like bloating and acidosis. So when we talk about monitor weight gain, as the animals increase the weight, you will also be increasing the feed because you are feeding these bulls on weight based on their live weight. So when the animal increase weight, you increase also the feed. When drops the weight, you can stabilize the feeding. So also the condition. When the animal is sick, you can't give it the high feed in the traps. So you need to check also on that. Another thing is you should not change or shift from one feeding to the next feeding, assuming you're feeding on coconut or on sunflower. You want to shift to another protein. Don't shift gradually, just do systematically to control bloating and acidosis. Another thing is you need to check on stress of the bulls. Thank you for your time.